Michael Nagy here with Jiggy Jag TV and discoveringbands.com. And for everyone watching, if you can share this video on my channel and help support the awesome artists I feature. And today I'm here with Sonsombre. How you doing today?
Good. How are you? Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, definitely. Now I want to start off and say your latest record is being listed by a lot of artists and websites as one of the best goth records of 2020. And I was wondering, did you ever expect that?
No, that really blows me away. The whole band, we're excited to see the response that we've gotten for what we've done. We're very, very thankful for that. Yeah.
And how did you manage to put out so much music so quickly and have it all really good?
Thank you. Thanks for that. Yeah, I don't know, blessing or curse, whatever. I have songs going through my head all the time, So sometimes I hear one and I think, oh, that's that would fit for Sonsombre, and I run up to my studio. I'm fortunate enough to have a studio which you're sitting in right now at home, and I run up to my studio and I lay down the ideas and I just collect them, and it happens faster than you'd realize. You look back and you're like, oh, I think I have enough for a whole album, and then you start to curate it and throw out the things that don't make the cut, polish it up, and there you go. I just very fortunate, I guess.
You must be working nonstop then.
Yeah, no, I mean, writing and recording music is definitely my passion, so I really, really enjoy it. So it doesn't feel like work. I'm just doing what I love to do.
Cool. I want to go back and ask, what got you into goth rock music to begin with?
Growing up, I was into, and I'm talking, starting at age 10 or so, I was into, metal and punk rock and all these kind of things, and just looking for darker and darker stuff all the time. And at some point when I was in high school, I used to carpool with my buddy, and we would bring, this is the days of cassette tapes. We would bring cassettes and trade back and forth, and he brought Christian Death's Only Theater of Pain, and he let me hear the song Spiritual Cramp, and as soon as I heard that, I was like, ooh, this is awesome. What do you call this? And he's like, goth or death rock? I don't know. And so then, I just started looking and got into all the Cleopatra bands, from back in the day, The Wake and Nosferatu, Rosetta Stone, Two Witches, and I just loved it. I had this love for the total vibe. The sound was very kind of darkly romantic, and the aesthetic, it just was really cool. It hooked me.
Cool. What are you currently working on? Are you working on a new album?
Yes. Well, actually, we have a new album that's finished, and it's in the hands of Cleopatra Records. It's called Revival. It should be out in the spring. We're waiting right now. They're designing the layout for the vinyl, etc. So probably, early in this year, in the springtime, we expect that album to drop. And then, because like I told you, I never stop. I have started writing the 5th album as well. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to that. And can you give us any details on the new record? Maybe some of the themes of the record?
It's called Revival, and it's really a tribute, I would say, to what's going on in the scene in general, where the scene is just growing, and the appetite for I like to use the term revival. I know some people use Renaissance, whatever. It doesn't matter to me, but a revival to me is sort of a return to the roots. And I feel like what's happening right now in the goth scene is there is a resurgence in folks that are interested in sort of the roots and origins and the old sounds and themes. And that's not to say just rehash those, and carry on. No, add something new, make it fresh. But yeah, that album is really a tribute to what's going on in the scene. But thematically, it's the same as always. It's very sort of about the internal world and the struggles that everybody faces. Isolation and depression and things like that have been more poignant this past year than many others. And then at the end of the album, very last track, we did a cover of an old Ghosting song called Ice from their 1989 demo. So that'll be cool. We've done covers before, but never on an album. So that'll be exciting to let people hear that. We totally reimagined that song, and so it'll be cool.
Awesome. I know you said the album's coming out in the spring. Are you going to be releasing a single anytime soon?
As soon as the cover art is approved, then Cleo will lay out for us the timelines. But yeah, we certainly would expect a single to drop when pre-sales start. And we've already got the video filmed and everything for the title track, Revival. And then we would also plan to drop another single on release day. So, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, it's interesting. I noticed what you said. There's been a huge wave lately of Darkwave artists, goth artists, and it's awesome to see that.
It really is. And the most exciting thing about it to me, I mean, there's always been, folks of my generation or even slightly before me that have been sort of diehard, goth fans and have carried the torch. But what's really awesome now is being contacted by really, younger generation of people. I mean, teenagers and stuff like that, and going to shows and seeing a younger crowd is very exciting because, I think there's so many good bands coming out right now that if we as a scene stick together, we can grow this thing again like it used to be. It can be really thrive, and that way everybody can have big nights, and the vibe is just wonderful. The energy's high, so yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, like you said, having a younger crowd getting into it is important.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Now I see you did some live streams. Do you have any more planned coming up?
We don't have anything right now planned. Live streams, we kind of take those as they come, and yeah, we just did one a couple of weeks ago. We've had a lot of fun doing them, and I think as we've gone along, the sort of technical elements of how we're pulling them off have improved. Our sound has improved, our look has improved. So yeah, we'll definitely be interested in doing some more of those, and then hopefully this vaccine can get distributed widely enough that we can get back on the road, because live streams are fun. I'm sure we won't stop doing those, but where we really want to be is on a stage, like every other band. We want to get back out there and meet folks whenever we can.
Well, we're talking about artists and stuff. The hope is by sometime near the end of 2021 that can happen. Yeah,
I mean, we'll just have to see how it goes. Some places will be better than others, of course, and yeah, we just got to cross our fingers and hope that folks will go and get vaccinated and do the right things and all this kind of stuff, so that that this can pass as quickly as possible.
And how have you yourself handled the whole quarantine and lockdown? Just staying busy with the music?
Yeah, staying busy with the music. I mean, again, we've been super, super fortunate that we've had, us together. Our band is sort of like a little pod, and we've been very careful just to keep, our pod very small and social distancing and all that kind of stuff. But we've been able to hang out, and that has helped. And we've worked a lot on live streams and writing and recording, and we've been really fortunate that because of the live streams and just staying present, we've been able to continue to grow the band instead of kind of shriveling up. Sadly, the pandemic has been really hard on a lot of artists, but we've been super fortunate.
Yeah, it's incredible how you've been able to grow so quickly over the past just few years.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Don't ask me how, because I don't know exactly how we did it.
Like you said, you're bringing that old sound new again. I think that's what people want to hear, And
yeah. Yeah, and we have, I mean, I'm sure every artist would tell you the same thing, but we really have an amazing fan base that, you know, they've turned into just a wonderful community that's kind of tight knit, and that helps a lot, you know, because the entire fan base, you know, they can all kind of be there for each other, and that's helped a tremendous amount too. And then once they feel connected with the music and what you're doing, they go out and tell their friends, and I guess, you know, that's how it's been happening. Just wonderful fans and listeners out there spreading the word.
Now, if people want to look you up, find you online, get your music, how do they do that?
Sonsombre.bandcamp.com is where you can find all of our music. You could find it also through Cleopatra Records. And then Post Gothic Records has a couple of our old releases. But then, of course, you know, everyone is invited to come check us out on Facebook and Instagram and connect with us there. If you're having any kind of problems locating what you're looking for, just ask me. You know, one of the things that we pride ourselves on is being very, very interactive and connected with the folks that are seeking out the music. And then you can find our music on all of the streaming services, you know, Spotify and Apple Music, etc.
Cool. Now I want to ask, where did the name Sonsombre come from? How did that come to be?
Yeah, so when I was writing the first record, which was called A Funeral for the Sun, I was really doing that with no intention of ever releasing it. I was just writing, you know, goth rock that I wanted to listen to. And I gave it a name. I gave a name to the project. Sonsombre is two French words meaning dark sound. And I gave it that name just to kind of keep me on track, you know, so that when I thought of the name, I would always think, well, this has got to sound dark because it's got to live up to the name. So that's it. You know, it means dark sound, and it's turned out, you know, pretty cool. I mean, it's I'm not tired of the name, so that's good. Usually other bands I've been in, after a while, you're like, oh, why did we name the band that? You know, but I like it. It's got a ring to it. It's fairly unique. It's really hard nowadays to come up with a one-word band name, you know, because they've all been taken, you know, by all the creative people out there. And so I'm happy that it's not too long. It's fairly easy to remember. So,
speaking of, you said other bands. What other projects are you part of?
So obviously, Sonsombre is my main project. I have, through the years, been in many different bands. I've been in a couple of black metal bands. One in the 90s was called Lycanthropy. It was sort of a symphonic black metal, you know, lots of keyboards and atmospheric vibe. I was in a death metal band in the early 90s too. And I continued to do, throughout the 2010s, some black metal side projects and like some, you know, folk inspired metal and things like that. And then I did a doom metal project like in 2017, 2018 or so. It was called Witch Goat, and it was just, you know, we started kind of tongue in cheek. We wanted to have the, you know, riffs that sounded like a caveman and the most fuzz we could put on there, and, you know, the most sort of occult references we could jam in and just be a way over the top. That was received pretty well. But Dave, who plays guitar in Sonsombre, was in that band with me. And when I released the first Sonsombre record, you know, I started to get contacted by DJs and labels and promoters and all this kind of stuff. And Dave said, you know, if you want to do this as a live thing, I'd be really happy to help you out. So we, you know, we put the current band together, Dave and I, and off we went. So all those connections and all those previous bands sort of, you know, culminated, I guess.
Now I ask, where would you like to see the future of Sonsombre, and maybe like a few years from now?
You know, I would love to see us just keep on this current trajectory. the main thing I'm interested in is outdoing ourselves with every record, making the records bigger, more hooks and darker and all of that stuff, and then see where it takes us. I mean, we had a European tour planned for 2020 that got canceled because of COVID. I definitely want to go and do a European tour. I'd like to play, a big European festival. I mean, those are sort of the dreams. We've had a lot of fun playing around in the United States and at the festivals here, but there's a lot of people elsewhere that want to hear us. I'd love to go to Brazil. I'd love to go to Mexico City. There's a lot of folks down there that we'd like to go and meet and play for. So, I don't know if that answered your question, but same trajectory, just, bigger, better, and just keep growing and just keep having fun. That's all.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, look forward to what you got coming up, and it was good talking with you, and everyone look him up.
All right. Thanks very much.
Yeah, it was good to have you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.